Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Game official podcast, episode 7. I am your co host, Matteo.
Piper's taken over for me today.
So it's Piper as the co host.
Yeah, Piper is your co-host today.
Lit.
She has lots of questions. She's very concerned about the COD community.
About the COD community in the past couple months and everything.
You can see how excited she is.
Exactly. Today we actually have on a very, very, very big special guest. The past couple months have been something to actually see, especially like on Twitter and Twitch and everything else. You might have seen him, like, if you were a big fan of like the College Call of Duty League, you probably saw him dominate with Enemy 4 Knights, helping his team get to X-1 for the season. Because I believe it was 14-1 or was it 13-1?
I believe it was 14-1, yeah.
Okay, 14-1. Yeah. And also recently winning the AFD 4K event, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And just in general, the face of several just baseless accusations that no one could ever prove, but yet they still insisted he was hacking. I am pleased to announce that we have on Jumper today.
Happy to be here, happy to be here.
Oh, and also, by the way, really fucking phenomenal streamer. Doing all that shit, popping off. Like,
Appreciate that.
big following, like, all around. Like, you have been very interesting to, like, follow up on the past couple months. I gotta say, it's been a wild ride for me. Just, like, even, like, viewing all that shit, I can't imagine what that's been like for you.
Yeah, it's been crazy. These past 7 months, I'd say now that I've been full-time, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
You've had quite an adventure in the last 7 months.
A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but
Yeah.
forward. That's all it
I
is.
mean, a lot of people would say that for the whole year, but
Yeah, but you were actually able to go full time. So essentially, like 7 months ago, you go full time and everything. What is like the whole, like what was like the amount that you were getting like subs on like Twitch and everything like that? Like what was like everything that you were kind of getting to actually be able to go full time?
So actually, a lot of people ask me this, and a lot of people don't believe me, but when I first started, I was probably getting like 10, 15 subs.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. The switch just kind of just happened naturally. I just said I don't want to work. I just said I'll just do streaming. I'll do competitive, and then
Yeah.
go on from there.
so what did you do before streaming?
Well, I was at my living with my parents, and then I was a full-time student, so I was just working with them back in Miami. Then when I moved out, there was just a day where I said I didn't want to be there anymore, so I took the initiative. I just moved out literally one
Right.
night. Didn't have anything planned. I just said I'm gonna do it. Then I just came up to Orlando, got an apartment next to UCF.
Where you
And then I
at?
started working, yeah, where I'm at right now in UCF in Orlando.
No, where are you at, UCF?
Oh, University Drive, super close.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
right next to you.
Yeah, I'm literally right next to the campus.
Oh,
Damn,
okay.
I'm right next to UCF Knights Pub.
Oh, it's literally
Yeah.
right next to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the Greek ghetto.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally what it is. That's funny.
Well, it's not gonna be there for much longer, but who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it must have been like a really big decision, big move. I mean, it seems like you've been doing well for yourself ever since then. I mean,
Yeah.
you said high and lows for sure,
Yeah.
but I mean, I've tuned into your stream before, and like you're not only just like a good player, but you're very just entertaining to watch. I would say too, like just
Oh yeah.
Appreciate
just
that.
good vibes and just like joking around, like saying like like to your partner, you're just like, all right, we got our hacks on, all right.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
The scene with our, it just
Yeah.
starts shooting randomly through the wall, and then one time you actually shot someone through the gate. I'm like, oh my god, here we go.
It
And
happens a
here
lot. Like
we
I have so
go.
many clips of that. Like even competing, whenever I play wagers or just regular tournaments where I'm literally just tracing people, and I do it on purpose just because I already know. Like when you play a game for so long, you kind of just already know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
it's like,
Right.
it's more of a game sense. Like some people just like can just like, it's not even that you take one shot and you're like, oh yeah, he's right there. It's just like you can kind of like get the general area of where they're at, and you just start
Right.
shooting, and then one of those shots is gonna hit. Like that's just like a veteran player would know, just like from game sense, like where if your gun can penetrate and where
Right.
they're gonna be at. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes people just get shot through one wall and they're like, oh, hacks, hacks, hacks. I'm like, dude, it's just normal game sense. Like
Yeah, that is literally all it
anybody in your standpoint would know that, like, they just know where they're at one point just from
Right.
basic movement and anything of that sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And people like tend to forget, like, you're literally on a map with 3 other people. You have teammates calling out consistently.
Yeah.
There's only 3 lanes. So
Yeah,
if you
live
have
tracking.
2 lanes, everything. Like,
Oh,
if you have
sorry,
2
right.
lanes covered, there's only one other lane the guy could be in. So
Yeah.
it's like, there's so much that goes into it that people don't really realize when they're in the moment.
Mhm.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it just sucks a lot.
Just
I play
kind.
search and destroy all the time, and I have a class just basically dedicated to wall banging people, like, and you just know what buildings can be wall penetrated and just where they're gonna be at.
Yeah, that's kind of like studying maps and just doing all that shit, and then like if you're able to really strategize like ahead of time and everything like that, and you've actually practiced and everything, then you are kind of gonna look like you're gonna be prepared and everything, and then everyone's gonna call you a hacker for actually preparing. So
I felt so bad though, because it was just like you got like accused from like a pretty well-standing like team like of players that are like competitive, and then
Yeah.
it basically brought you to just do a monitor cam just to show people that you weren't cheating, and even then it was still like
it was still gonna happen.
Yeah,
It still
gonna
happened.
happen regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Like,
know- I can't understand why people like just can be so ignorant that you can just push somebody to have a monitor cam to prove to people that aren't cheating, and still continue to, say, oh, he's cheating.
Or just the fact that you're making like a cheating claim and you have no evidence to back it up. That's the one thing that like I've
I've
started.
been talking about it. It's just like baseless accusations. Like whenever you're getting
Yeah.
accused of cheating, you have to have proof.
You have to have it, like otherwise, like I don't know how you're not getting shit on for that, especially because like you have to be able to back anything up that you're actually, if you're gonna be like, oh, he's fucking cheating, or like with what proof, like do you actually have, because you like have to back that up. And I feel like the one thing that especially even like in light of like other shit, especially with like Cheeto and other shit like that too, like a lot of like more the fan base, especially for like the players and everything else for COD and everything, is like being considered pretty much just like this whole immature like talking shit and everything like that, no real consequences or anything like that. But it's not like that. There's a lot of like actually like professional like people that aren't like doing this shit, and they're playing their shit like you, they do very well and everything, and they're not doing that kind of shit. So it's fucked up. I hate that.
I completely agreed with Brandon before when he was saying like, tweeting at the head of the team or anything, like, you owe my player an apology. Like,
Oh, that was Antonowal, right? Yeah. Or am I saying that wrong? It was a
Ottawa, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
It was an Ottawa team.
Okay. Yeah,
But
because
even when he tweeted about that, I was just kind of like, I didn't really agree with it. I'm gonna be honest.
with him,
Because it really
tweeting
wasn't.
that?
really,
Yeah, because it wasn't really the team's fault. Like, it was just one player. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was
like,
two players.
There was 2 players in the lobby. The thing is that my webcam was covering it, like the screen, like the actual recording,
Mm-hmm.
and so I couldn't really go back. So I'm not gonna, go back and watch the entire stream to accuse both of them. We're just gonna accuse like just from the clip itself.
No.
Like, I know both of them were doing it, but we're just gonna accuse one person. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, it's not that big of a deal anyway. But yeah, no, it's like at the end of the day, it was just them, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really need I never needed an apology. That was another thing I said too, was like, they're gonna say it, but the fact is that that's not the first time that they've done it.
Yeah. I just
yeah.
So
there's
it's like, they're gonna apologize, but I know it's not genuine. They're only gonna apologize now because they got caught.
Because they're
Right, and
forced
they're
to do
forced to. So
And it was like a-
that tweet.
it was like a bullshit one though. Like I saw the one they released and it was just like a backdrop and it was just text and everything. It was like, fuck you, get them actually fucking saying shit like and everything, because like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, I would rather them not say anything because I know it's not genuine. If that
Yeah.
makes any
Yeah.
sense. Like, I didn't want. I forgot who his name was, but pretty much I think the manager of that team, he was like hitting me up saying like, oh, he's gonna apologize. I'm like, I don't want an apology. Like, why do I want him to come apologize if it's not genuine? Like, he doesn't care. He's gonna continue to do it, whether he's
Yeah.
gonna do it publicly or just with a group of people that he's gonna.
Or
say.
just to even like someone else.
Dude,
Right.
when
Like at the end of the day, like no, like I don't care.
when
Yeah.
Brandon tweeted that, like, and
Yeah.
I can understand his viewpoint 100% because as a CEO of an organization like that, business to business, and I was in a fraternity, so
Right.
you get a group of guys and you got one guy that did some stupid shitty thing and you think in an ideal world that person is going to be, he's going to be punished for that. But the
Right.
problem is that when you're behind an organization, a fraternity, a business, anything of that sort,
Yeah.
it looks bad on the organization as a
Of
whole.
course. Of
No
course.
matter what. So I definitely agree with Brandon's tweet though too, because it is definitely those one or two individuals, but they're behind an organization, so that makes that whole organization bad that they deem this okay for their players to do, to just go around saying baseless accusations against other players within their community who are behind other organizations, and it's just
Right.
not right.
And shit talking in a way that just like it isn't called for at all. Like I'm gonna.
The way
I
I
get
put
it,
it,
like,
to put it this way, like if it was
Yeah.
somebody that I knew, like a friend saying that, it would have been fine, even in a different tone of voice. But the fact that like they've all been talking shit all year,
Mm,
they've all said multiple things about me. His tone of voice, the way he even said it, it was different. Like it was extra for no reason. But now
Yeah.
it would have been a whole different story if I would have known him, if I knew him, if we were friends. You could mess around saying stuff like that against like amongst friends. But with
yeah.
somebody that you don't know, it's a whole different story. Like people don't really get, people don't understand that. I don't know how else to explain that.
Well, here's the thing. Like at the LAN event, like the AFD,
Hmm.
were any of those people that were shit talking you there, or was anyone actually like had the balls to actually like shit talk you there, like
No.
face to
So
face?
here's
Okay.
the thing with me, like I don't really know people like that, like their faces. Like obviously I know the
Mhm.
player, but I don't know their faces. But also like with me is when I go to events, just strictly business. Like I'm not there to say what's up to people. When I
Yeah.
go there, if I have a match, if I have to scrim, I'm in the venue. If I don't have a match or I don't have a scrim set up at the venue, I'm not inside the venue. I
Okay.
don't watch the matches there. I don't do anything. It's literally strictly business. And I'm
Yeah.
like that at majors. I'm like that at locals, wherever I go.
The
So that's
thing
Okay.
one thing.
is too is that when Matthew and I keep talking about the differences of like what's going on, like
Mhm.
in all reality, you are actually taking the best road, I think, in my personal opinion, that you could possibly take, taking the high road in some sorts. These players can just say whatever you say. You know what you're doing. Your
Yeah.
audience knows what you like. You're legit. You're fine. You know you're legit, and you're
You have a
just good
whole
player,
community
you're
backing
just
you up.
and
Right.
you're just going on doing what you're doing. Like you don't. The thing is that if you keep feeding into it, it's gonna get worse.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I
And
was.
that's
That's
why
why I
you're
was
not
saying.
doing it. And
Yeah.
that's
That's
what I
why.
commend you for doing great, is because you're just saying, okay, like, okay, these players can say whatever they want. I don't care what they say. If they apologize to me or keep saying what they're saying, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna do my best. And
Right.
that's basically what you did, and you won the tournament. Like you did great. Like, and you just kept it strictly business. Like, you just didn't be like, hey guys, fuck you, I won the tournament. It's just like, nope. I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is me. This is what I did.
Yep.
It is
You know.
what that's what I told people. Like it is what it is. And there was people who always told me it was like after the event, like, oh, you're gonna tweet at them or you're gonna do this. I'm like, no, I don't need to.
You.
It's like I already. Because here's the thing, I won the
Yeah.
event, which is fine, right?
The
But
fact
then
that you won
afterwards,
is saying enough.
it's
Yeah.
tough, right? But then,
Absolutely.
then people start saying like, oh, you won an event that didn't have competition, and I'm not here to name drop at all. I'm not gonna name drop. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
But the players know. There
Mhm.
was a team who placed top 12, who is supposedly a really good team, and they got shit on by the other teams that supposedly weren't so good.
Yeah.
So if that team isn't so good, then how did they beat you, and why'd you play so bad? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like whenever somebody, and I did tweet this out. I did say like it depends who wins an event, which is like for example, I'll name drop him like Zinx. If Zinx, a top player in the amateur and elite qualifiers, he's a really good player. If he would have won that event, everybody would be praising him. But since it was me, or if it would have been
Right.
anybody else that doesn't really have a name in the community, if any of us would have won, we're gonna get the hate for it, and we're gonna be the ones that are gonna hear, oh, it was an event that didn't have a lot of competition. But if it was anybody else, everybody would be getting praised for it.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do, you're still gonna get hate. At the
Yeah.
end of the day,
And
like, it really doesn't matter.
And like the thing is too, like I feel like again, I think even for anything else, like if like any of that shit is gonna change, it's also how they implement that shit because like even like the way that they're shit talking, right? Like because I mean mainly like we saw all that shit and like obviously it was like Cheeto and everyone else talking that kind of shit and everything, and they were all getting up in each other's faces and everything, and it's like understandable. Like at the end, like the end one was like, well they've been talking shit to them and everything. It's understandable, but like fuck, you get in someone's face like that? I'm like, that's gotta be like tournament culture or some shit. Is there like somewhere in like the fucking tournament rules, like if you like win and everything, you just get to go up to them and shit talk because they're just like, you know what? I gotta take this. I know what I've been putting out, so I gotta take this. Or like, because that looks like at that point, if someone's saying that kind of shit to you, if anyone got up in my face like that. Granted, I come from a different like esports background, way different genre. No one shit talks like that. Like it is really rare that I ever see that. Yeah. Ever. You're fighting. You're like you get up in someone's face like that. You're just fighting. Like right. That's the most shocking thing. Like in like professional sports, anything else, that's a suspension right there. Like especially like talking that kind of shit. So it's so different. But like. Also for gaming, it's like you kind of get clout and everything, you get a little bit of press for other shit and everything, but for like gaming culture as a whole, it suffers because like then like actual reputation of gamers and gaming and actually like making it an actual career and everything from either like just streaming local lands, so on and so forth, it's coming with having to have like a lot of like negative shit. I fucking hate that because then it just like it feels like you get lost of like what you originally like actually want to do when you're in gaming. At least like for them, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things we can get into when it comes to like how we react after we win.
Yeah.
Because we really got to realize, gaming in general, any game you play, and I would say more, any game that has any type of noise that really messes with your psychological thoughts, I think that's really what affects people at the end of the day. Because to give you an example, like. There's a lot of studies, psychological studies that say like, the reason Call of Duty is so addicting is the noises that we hear in the background. The headshot multiplier, the dings when you got to kill, the hit marker sounds, all of that messes with something in your head.
Dopamine.
That makes you want to go more. Right?
Yeah.
It makes you want more and it makes you want more. And I feel like, after playing, we could say a best of 5 series, you're playing either 3 maps or you're playing, 5 maps.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have all of that built up, you have built up adrenaline. You have past relationship with these players. If you don't like them, you're gonna be wanting to beat them. So the adrenaline just gets higher and higher the longer the match takes. And I feel like that's what makes players explode if they don't know how to control it. And I feel like gaming, I think that's a whole different thing when it comes to gaming and then any regular like sport.
Yeah.
Obviously, in any other sport, you have that adrenaline, but it's not as much as it is in gaming.
I disagree, actually. The only reason I disagree is because like I research this at actually a bigger point, like the heart rates of like people that are in these competitions and everything, it's fucking intense. Like if you're not like crazy. If you're like I literally like if you're not in shape, like that's intense shit that you're going through like in a big like not even like that wasn't even like a shot at Cheeto. I know Christian was like looking at me like that, but like even in general it's like if you're just looking at it from like you're going through a whole tournament, that's a whole day's like worth of shit and everything like that. Your heart rate's like really fucking up.
Right.
It's intense shit. Like
I'm more of a fan of the adrenaline rush you get from the headshot in Battlefield 1. If you remember that little noise you get. It was I mean, you're definitely right when it comes to that. I think you definitely get like a real big rush from every sort of noise you get from like the amount of kill streaks you get, specialists, headshots.
It's even when like for example, what game had like specialist bonuses when like Modern Warfare 3 had it.
Modern Warfare has specialist bonus too.
Yeah, like there was a recent game though. I think it was maybe Ghost, where it was like where you started seeing people. Yeah, I think it was Ghost. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But it was like when you got like a multiplier, like a specialist bonus, it made like this weird noise. But it was like people started saying like, oh, if I get a triple kill, I'm going for the 4th person.
Yeah.
And it's like
you get really greedy. You get really greedy.
And that's it. And then once you get that 4th kill, then you explode. I feel like it depends what's going on the map that just makes you act the way that you act.
Yeah, sometimes for me, I mean, I was playing earlier and I was like 1 kill away from white phosphorus and search and destroy, and I was just like, how do I play this? Do I go for the kill? Do I be patient? What do I do? What do I do? What do I
Right.
do? Like, cause
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, there's so
that,
much that goes on that you really don't know. Like, you hear
yeah.
everybody shooting, you have your teammates calling out, you have the score streaks over you. It's a lot.
It
That's
is.
why, like, when I play public matches, I just have to mute my team because if they really don't know what they're doing and they go negative half the time, I just can't play with them. Like,
Yeah.
I just gotta mute everybody and all. I have to mute all noise except for myself.
Yeah.
Right.
I was playing earlier and I was using slug rounds on my 725. Like, oh god, 725 slug rounds, and then they're like, oh, he's pulling out shotguns. I'm like, it's slug rounds. They're like, no, it's a shotgun's a shotgun, you puss. I'm like, slug rounds.
It's
I have to
slug
hit my-
rounds.
I have to hit my shots. Like
Yeah.
it just. I mean, the community, of course, is just toxic. It's just like the thing is, like, people just find anything to complain about when they lose.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No
And I also
accountability.
tweeted that it's like people always have 1,000 excuses as to why they lose, but they're never the problem.
Yeah, they never can actually
They'll
like
never. Yeah.
look at themselves in the mirror. Like, and you have to do with whatever that it is that you're doing. You have to be able to do that. There shouldn't, like, especially because like there's this negative part of like gaming culture that is exactly like that and everything. There's also like this whole thing where if you do fucking lose and everything, you can't put the blame on yourself. You have to put it on something else, because if you put the blame on yourself, people are gonna feel like, oh shit, then now you're not a legit gamer, and that's not the case. Like, you actually have to be able to do that to get better at anything, get better at
For Modern
life.
Warfare, I just blame skill-based matchmaking for me losing. Modern Warfare, that's all I blame it on.
Yeah, but you
He
have
knows exactly what I'm talking about too. I
Yeah,
can see the little smirk.
so
Skill-based
bad.
matching, it destroys nearly any game that we play
Mm-hmm.
nowadays.
But you have to be able to do that shit. Like, you have to be able to actually like look at yourself and like reflect on your games or just anything else, and like actually say like, what do I need to be doing better? What do I need to change? How can I
That goes
grow
for
from
anything.
this?
That goes for
Everything.
anything. That's
Everything.
in life in general. Like if you can't do that on yourself, it's like you're not gonna make it in anything that you do.
I feel like I would have a lot more respect for someone though that actually does that, because you don't really see that with anyone in the community. No one's ever saying that shit and everything. So like it's refreshing to hear that. And I do actually want to transition though, because I do actually really want to talk about this, because I feel like with everyone making hackusations and everything, everyone wants to know where you got your start as a hacker. So talk about your origin stories. Like, when did you first like start playing like COD or like FPSs or gaming in general? Like, what was your first introduction to it?
I started really really young. I got like basically out of the womb. I was playing video games.
Yeah.
I have an older brother, so every time, you know, the earliest memory I have would be like the original Xbox, just playing Halo. We
Oh,
used to
wow.
go to like these
How old were you? Like, playing Halo? Like,
5, 6
5.
years old. Yeah,
Wow.
really really young. We used to go to like these local stores. We used to live like right next to like an arcade,
Okay.
and there used to be like this little place in the corner where we all used to gather up like neighbors that we had, and we should just go to the arcade and just play like local area. I'll just connect each other's Xbox and just play.
Mhm.
So that's like the earliest memory I have of me competing. But I
Yeah.
didn't really start taking it serious till 2011. But throughout that period from 2006 to 2011, I was playing Halo, Gears of War, and then I didn't transition to COD up until Modern Warfare 3 like full time. So
Mhm.
Modern Warfare 3 2011 was when I was doing it full time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. What led you to like when you finally sat down and you were like, or you probably, I don't know if you actually really thought about it like too much, but when did you know you were gonna kind of go full time? Like, at least more so like you were really trying. Like, when did you kind of like recognize like mentally like you were doing this?
Mentally, where I sat down and I've said, okay, like this is what I want to do 100% would have to be World War II.
Yeah.
So 2016, 2017.
Okay.
And I think the reason it took me so long was because I was, battling my parents, number one. That was like the hardest thing was to get my parents to support me.
Yeah.
So
What was that dynamic like? Just growing up and everything like that, like the back and forth.
yeah, it was a lot. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people could understand this.
Yeah.
It was like they would put me in after school programs. So from
Right.
I had class basically from 8 till 3, and then I had after school programs until 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then
Mhm.
obviously like you'd have to go home, you still got to do homework, you still have to shower, still have to eat. So I
Yeah.
really only had like a 2 3 hour period window until I had to go to sleep because I had
Yeah.
to wake up for school the next day.
Oh my
So
god,
they'll be
yeah.
doing that. I was doing on top of the fact that I was doing after school programs, I was also doing baseball at the time. So
Okay.
there'll be some days where I wasn't even getting home till 10 p.m. because I had baseball practice, baseball games. Um, there'll be times where they'll take away the console, take away the controller, wouldn't let me get on. They'll cut the internet out. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um,
I was lucky my parents didn't know how to do that. They would just hide my controller, but I basically
find it
found out
random.
I found all their hiding places.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you can have it back." "Oh, thanks, mom." Just puts it back and just like grabs it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did that a couple
Dude,
times, but
I
got
definitely
caught.
feel that, dude. Like in high school, like I was working at Publix. I had lacrosse after school. Just like just all these after school programs. Like definitely not
Yeah.
competing or anything like that, but just even finding time to just like relax and play with the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like for
Having
me,
fun with.
like I did that. Like I had that shit too. I was literally like I had like cross country after school, and then like or track and everything. Like depending on like the time of the year, and literally just like doing that. And I would game and everything. I didn't necessarily have too many problems, but I had all these classes and everything, and like everything was like hectic all the time. So I definitely get that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even like going back to even like Christian, real quick, more so like even with like that and everything because you're doing all that shit. How much time did you actually find for like gaming and everything when you actually were able to sit down with it?
Um, Probably not a long time. I don't even to give like an actual number. Um, During high school, I'll say this. During high school, I quit baseball, so it was sophomore year.
Okay.
So from pretty much from the time that I got out of class, which was 2:20, I'd be home by 3.
Yeah.
From 3 in the afternoon till 2 in the morning, I was gaming.
Yeah.
So I did that
Whoa,
from
jeez.
sophomore year up until now, pretty much. So 5 years,
Okay.
4 years now. But yeah, but there was a lot more. Like now, high school you have a lot of work. So I had to take it in within myself. I was like, okay, if I want to do this and actually pursue it, I need to make sure I do all my homework when it's assigned. So during class, I was doing the classwork on top of the homework.
Yeah.
During lunch, I wasn't eating lunch. I never ate lunch in high school after sophomore year. I was in one of my teacher's classes and I was just doing homework, doing all the classwork that I had to do. And I made sure that by the time that I got home, I had no homework left, so I could use all that time to just game and do what I had to do, create content, compete, do whatever I had to do.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the same thing that I do now.
Yeah. What about you, Christian? How much time did you have for gaming?
Dude, we just game when we can. I only remember some nights when like we were able to like play like all night until like 5 in the morning on weekends, and then I would be able to, I lived in a house with a family of 6, so it's like I scream once, the dog goes crazy. I'm like, fuck. My mom's like, get the fuck off Xbox right now. I'd be like, just sitting there like, oh,
Just
God.
banging on the wall and everything.
Like, just like, you have to be like, even if you're really quiet, it's like you can wake the dog for anything. I was like, fuck. And then, I mean, when I gamed, like, I had other hobbies, activities. Like, I had a pool. Like, I went surfing with friends. I went golfing. I had other
Mhm.
hobbies to do. I mean, like, every time, even till nowadays, I definitely game just to casually game. But the thing is, casual gaming is not what it used to be nowadays.
Right.
And I feel like everything, no matter what you play, is just straight competitive on any sort of stance of how you play. Because, like I said, skill-based matchmaking ruins every game. Whenever I want to casually play on Fortnite, it gets against sweaty players who are cranking 90s, snorting G Fuel the entire time,
Yeah.
and just like getting every headshot, and just I can't do it. Like I don't want to have to use the same weapons, the same overpowered crap every time.
Yeah.
Even now today, I was playing Search and Destroy, and I was just casually playing with a random gun of just slug rounds or just non-meta weapons, and I'm getting killed with AS Vals
Yeah.
and MP like M4s and everything. It's just it's hard
Yeah.
to like even get time to do any of that because once
I'm
you spend time doing it, it's just like you don't want to.
exactly. I'm not gonna lie though. Skill-based matchmaking totally ruined Legend of Zelda. Fucking hate that shit.
Yeah, I hate it too. I hate it honestly when it, I hate it ruining Scribble.io to be honest with you.
Facts. Everybody's hearts all of a sudden so good at it.
It ruined Nintendogs. Like.
Dude, you're just going up against players in Scribble.io that have like those freaking like little iPad pens where they're just drawing shit. I'm just like sitting here on my mouse like creating a stick figure with a dick on it.
Yep.
Literally.
It's basically all I fucking do.
Skill-based matchmaking.
I mean, but I've seen you play a lot of the new COD nowadays. How do you feel about that, like Cold War, comparatively to Modern Warfare? Because I know a lot of people are split between the two.
Yeah, no, Cold War is 100% better.
You think so, really?
No way anybody thinks otherwise. But here's the thing. I had this conversation with somebody else a couple days ago. I think it depends on who you are. Like, if you're a competitor, 100% you think Cold War is better. But if you're casually playing it, Modern Warfare. And I say that because, like, Modern Warfare, they said it. I forgot who, on the Hearts Treyarch. Who's the other guy from MW? Forgot his name. But that guy, he literally said, we made this game for casual players. Like, strictly multiplayer. So that's how the game plays out. Like, you have doors, people camping corners with the fire shotgun rounds. Like, you don't have that in Cold War. In Cold War, you're constantly left sticking. And you get punished for playing too slow. You have to play as a team. You have to know what you're doing on the map. And I feel like that's what Treyarch goes with.
I mean, comparatively, because I've seen a lot of competitive players and a lot of other people that are big into competing and streaming when it comes to COD really don't like one of the ones I watch all the time. I've said him multiple times. I'm pretty sure you know him, Marksman.
Mm-hmm.
He complained about Cold War for so
long.
He's
not really a competitor though. I'm talking about competitive like challengers or even
the things that he complains about, I say are pretty valid when they go hand in hand to competitive and to casual playing. Because if you have a setup where snipers have no, like the biggest one, snipers having no flinch,
right,
when you're getting shot at, that I feel like can be hell for competitors.
Right. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the reason why it's banned, or I think it's GA'd just now.
Oh, okay.
Just now.
But it's like, so we don't even use snipers. But yeah, like, there's obviously gonna be, some flack. There's obviously gonna be some things that are broken on the game. But what game isn't like that? Like, you go back into MW, like, I can't think of anything on top of my head because it's been so long already. But like, there's 100% things in MW that was broken, and that's the reason why they were GA'd.
Even yeah.
There's just so many things. Like, if we talk about things like that, there used to be like scopes, but the same way in Cold War, like there's some scopes that we can't use because it's just broken. Like, there's no flinch. It's just, there's so many things like that. But just
yeah, I mean, that's gonna be like for every game,
right?
Sure.
It's like, besides, if without talking about guns and perks and stuff like that, just how the game plays out, the map layouts, how the movement feels. That's mainly why I feel like Cold War is just a way better game competitively than MW.
Just me personally saying, I like Modern Warfare's movement because it feels a little more fluid. It's not like, I feel like for Cold War, it's really too stiff for me. Like, it feels like I'm just like kind of just like a stick figure, just moving around. Like, it just feels shit. I know people don't like slide canceling and shit, but just the movement just feels a lot better for me in Modern Warfare.
It's a lot faster.
A lot faster. It just feels a little more dynamic and a little more control. I guess it just competitively and compare the two, it's just where you feel most comfortable with.
Yeah,
I guess
I go back to MW now, and it's like I play it and I don't even understand how I used to play it.
Wow.
Like, I cannot imagine playing that game for another year now. There's no way.
Yeah.
Do you mean casually or like?
I
mean, I could play it casually. It's fine, but like playing it against other people like competitively is no way.
Wow.
No way. It's so bad. At least for me, like the way it feels for me.
What's the biggest thing that you would say for Modern Warfare that is really just like, nope, fuck this game, gone? Like,
just one big thing.
Yeah, like I mean, like if you
think
can
just
pick,
the
because I
guns,
know Modern Warfare has a
gun
lot of problems.
balance.
I'm not saying that it
Right.
doesn't. I complain about them all the time when it comes to gun balancing, some of the maps, you know, all this other crap. You know, the maps can be very camper friendly. I understand that, but if you had to pick one thing that you really is just Cold War any day over Modern Warfare, like what do you
The
think that would be?
spawns, the spawns and the maps. That's it on MW.
Yeah.
When for search.
For well, for search for itself, the guns, just the gun balancing. And I mean, it pretty much just goes just the maps too, because the way
Mm-hmm.
S&D was played on MW was just like everybody was just camping corners.
Mm,
Everybody had, you peek through a door and then you just sit behind it until you see something. The camera angles that created too were just like,
mm-hmm.
you had snipers, so you were able to do it, which is fine. It
Yeah.
it brings it's like it's a double-edged sword, because at the same time, whether yeah the game was a little broken because of that, at the same time it's like if you knew how to use it, you were just the better player.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it just created an unbalance in S&D, at least in MW, on some of the maps. There were some
Mm-hmm.
maps that were really good, but then some other maps were just a little bit like horrible.
Because I've always been a big SND guy for the past like four
Right.
or 5 years. Like I don't play anything else. I don't play respawns or anything else. Like I don't like playing it unless I'm grinding for like unlocking a gun or just
Yeah.
trying to get attachments or
Right.
camos or anything like that. I don't play anything otherwise. Or search and destroy is where COD is like strongest at most when it comes to that.
All right.
Right.
Warzone has become a whole different thing now, and there are many, many, many reasons why I don't play Warzone over the past year. And
Wait a minute. Didn't I see you the other day on Warzone
it
with
just,
OG Xerox?
must have been
Tell me I didn't see you on that stream.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Got caught. Got caught.
Caught in 4K.
Got caught at 4K.
That camera's really 1080, but you know, like, but I don't. It's not my choice.
Oh, it wasn't your choice of playing Warzone?
Yes, if
You
if
had been
Brandon
asking to
was-
play with Brandon for a while on Warzone?
Finish. If Brandon would be down for Surge more than Warzone, I would definitely pick that over anything day of the week. But he wants to play Warzone, and I understand why a lot of streamers want to play Warzone, because you can have the opportunity to get a wider view of audience in your stream.
Mhm.
I understand why people play it. But I can guarantee you, everybody that does not enjoy playing it. They do not.
Okay.
And there's a lot of reasons why. And
No,
I've talked about this many times during the podcast. First off, Warzone is literally just a marketing ploy for all their other games. It's for marketing ploy for Modern Warfare and for Cold War both. Because they make guns that are exclusively only in Modern Warfare and Cold War. They make them super OP. Super, super OP that they become the meta. So that
Yeah.
makes you forced to buy the game to get all the attachments that you need to have the best meta weapon in the game in order for you to do well.
I
Because
really
you're not gonna grind in Warzone for that specific weapon that much to get all the attachments that you need. You're really not. You're gonna buy the game to do that.
I really thought like more so when like Warzone was announced, I just thought like they were trying to more so compete like more so with the battle royale genre.
course.
Like that was more what I thought it was, and they thought like, shit, we could dominate in the long run if we put it out.
They have both now. They have their battle royale. They have
Blah,
their
blah.
battle royale that they want. Well, I just burped because I.
They have their battle royale.
You want me to get another beer? I'll get another beer.
What were you drinking beforehand?
Natter days.
What?
It's a Natter day. It's
Okay, I've never. Yeah, give the whole. You're sponsored now.
I'm sponsored now. Like, so, would you shut up? So they have their battle royale, and they have their marketing play for all their other games that they want,
Yeah.
because they have everything that they could possibly need to dominate the gaming community nowadays. And
Right.
everybody knows, and everybody plays it because they don't have anything else to play right now. Fortnite is dead, and anything that has come to play nowadays is just done. Apex has kind of been making a comeback, but it will never be anywhere near close.
it feels like it always is kind of making a comeback, and then it kind of goes away, and then it kind of makes a comeback again, and then it kind of goes away, and it just like
I'll never get near to Warzone though.
it
That's the
won't.
thing.
And I think Apex is a great game. I think it
and-
really is.
And I remember even Jumper telling me, like, before we started streaming, is that, like, you have to learn the rotations, you have to learn, call outs to certain places, how you rotate, who do you face off against, who do you don't, like, who do you pass by, everything, there's a lot of
Sure.
different things in Battle Royale when it comes to that. A lot of different variables.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's a broken game, dude. There have been so many times where the last time I actually played before Xerox, I was playing the Battle Royale. I was near the stadium, and there was people who learned how to get under the map again,
Okay.
and they were just shooting me through underneath the map.
Oh wow.
And it is a hacker's paradise
Ooh.
in Warzone, because all they can do is just basically hacking the game, and if they get banned, you just create another free account. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
It takes 5 minutes.
It takes 5 minutes.
Wow.
And it's bad.
Yeah.
And the new Gulag sucks. I don't want to hear anyone tell me otherwise. The new Gulag sucks comparatively to the original one. But I don't like how basically whoever is controlling Warzone basically right now, which is Cold War, you can imagine all the Cold War, except for the AMAX, but the AMAX was always king. Any of those Cold War guns you could think of are pretty much meta and OP at the time, while Cold War was in charge of it. And there was even a time where the Bruin for Modern Warfare, in Warzone, it was completely overpowered, and the only way you could get it is that if you buyed Modern Warfare.
Wow.
How bullshit was that? And they only fixed
That
it
is
within a
fucked.
couple months. It's shit, dude. It's a shit game. I'm sorry.
It's all
Jumper,
good.
I mean, like, tell me, like, you could definitely vibe with people. You can enjoy it, like, with friends
I
and
don't
everything
enjoy
like
it.
that.
I completely agree with what you said. I don't enjoy it at all. The only
You
reason-
don't.
He
I'm
was just
sorry,
like-
no.
I only play it because I know I have to. Like,
You have
just-
to, and that's what's so
yeah.
sad about it. Like, streamers nowadays, they play because they have to. Until something rises from the ashes, like a fucking phoenix coming up and just gets us away from this shitty game.
Yeah.
Please come forth, somebody, anything, please.
Anything.
Battlefield 6, please. Oh Lord and Savior, Battlefield 6, please be good to all of us so we can get away from Call of Duty for a while. I don't know. if
You
you're
heard it here
Battlefield,
first.
I'm a big Battlefield fan.
I played Battlefield a couple times. I think I played like Battlefield 4. I think that was
Oh,
the last
those are
Battlefield
great.
I played. Yeah. I really
love-
enjoyed it.
I love 3 and 4. I thought about getting it for the PC again, but I'm just gonna wait until that comes out.
Yeah.
And I didn't even talk about Matthew, like, because sometimes I just play COD just to play because I don't have anything else.
Yeah, you're kind of like inadvertently like you're a casual competitive, like even though you feel like I'm just casual. I was like, Christian, you're casually competitive. Like the hours that you're putting in, you're casually competitive.
How many times have those have been good though?
What do you mean have they been good? Like have you been good or like have other people been good?
Yeah,
Just
I guess.
yeah,
I'm
you
on top of the leaderboard every time.
not every time. There was like when
Every
I was
time.
like with Caleb and everything, it was like, oh man, Christian, yeah, you got murked several.
I got sniped once, but I was still on top of the leaderboard. and
No, literally, just this guy like comes out of nowhere, just like I think he slid in and just shot it. And I think I only laughed at that super fucking hard because I think Christian said some shit and then he just got murked, and I was like, OP baby. But
So Jumper, have you heard about the rumors though that they're gonna do like a whole entire remastered Modern Warfare 2 because they don't have time to make a brand new game?
Yeah, I don't know how much I believe that, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have been said. They said that MW2 is going to be remastered, but that wouldn't make sense because MW2
yeah,
was Infinity Ward, not Sledgehammer. And I believe I don't remember. Did Sledgehammer work on the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, or was it Raven?
I would believe it would be Sledgehammer. I don't think it would be Raven. I can look that up right now.
I think Raven was COD 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let's fact check that real quick, because I've been thinking about this for so long, and I still don't have the answer to it, because I just haven't looked it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if Sledgehammer did work on Modern Warfare 2 campaign, then yes, they're 100% gonna do it. But
And so I've only got the developers were Infinity Ward and Beanox.
Okay.
Beanox. Okay, yeah, I remember Beanox. So it wasn't Sledgehammer. So no, I don't think they're gonna remaster Modern Warfare 2. They wouldn't be able to. I mean, they would be able to 100%, but it wouldn't make sense because Sledgehammer already confirmed that they're making the next game. So I don't think Modern Warfare 2 is gonna be remastered this year. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's two things that I did hear. I heard that the game's gonna be delayed. And
It's
the
already
other
been
reason-
delayed though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, not that I've heard, not any official news about. Like I said, I don't think that would happen just because Activision is too money hungry. I don't
Yeah.
think Activision would allow any of the developers to not make a game.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they have what 3 years to make a new COD. Every developer now that it's Sledgehammer, that's right, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch. Like they have 3 years to make a game after they release a new one. So they
Okay.
have a lot of time. I mean, obviously it takes a long time to make a game, but
Well,
Yeah.
Modern Warfare has been out for like what two years now, I think.
it's gonna
Yeah.
Or
It
you know,
came
in a
out
couple
last
months.
year. It's about to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's about no, it's about to be 2 years, so they
Yeah.
have another year
Right.
to really go around. I mean, I was always a big fan of Modern Warfare 2. I wouldn't have mind if they remastered it. To be honest, like
I don't think they would though now in this generation. No
Yeah.
way. Everybody has
No.
something to complain about. There's no way. Imagine spawning in and dying from a YouTube.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
mean like
there's no way.
a lot of people is that remaster Modern Warfare 2, but like one man army needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
A lot
That's
of
what I'm
other
saying.
things
Like,
need to be
I wouldn't.
fixed.
Modern Warfare 2 wouldn't be a good seller. It wouldn't make sense because of all the things that Modern Warfare 2 had.
Yeah.
And Modern Warfare 2 wouldn't be Modern Warfare 2 without the one man army. It wouldn't be the same without sitting back your spawn with a new tube, just shooting it straight up to kill, 4 people in a building. Like it just wouldn't be the same. So if they fix things like that, it's not the same. It's the same thing that happened with COD 4 Remastered. There's simple things that they changed that just didn't make the game feel nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I played it. I enjoyed it. I think there's definitely people that would buy it for the small enjoyment. Their maps are very good though.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%. Yeah.
I actually have a big question. I was actually really just thinking about this. Especially because like just even going back to like even more your origin story and everything, like I think this is a really important thing to really to speak on, especially for you, Jumper. Do you think that really like because you were introduced to these games at like 5 years old and everything, and like back like growing up, like parents and everything like that, and even like still now they stereotypically would think that it's like the worst thing in the world to introduce like for kids to be gaming at that age with all that and everything.
Right.
Do you think because you started so young with those kind of games, is that the reason that you have this kind of success that you have today?
I think that really goes both ways. I would say
Okay.
definitely yes, because in a standpoint where I know what I'm doing around the map, it's a lot easier because I already know the game.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty is Call of Duty. It doesn't matter what year it is. It doesn't matter what game you're playing. Like it's the same, pretty much layout until they change it, which is, 3 lanes. You have objectives. You have the S&D is never gonna change. S&D is always gonna be S&D.
Yeah.
So I feel like having the upper hand that I've been competing for so long and I've been playing these games for so long, it just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But when it comes to anything else, really like content wise, it doesn't really make it easier. just
Yeah.
Because you never really know when you're gonna pop off.
But more so from like the competitor standpoint, or just even being really good at the game. Like I think that's like an important thing because I think
yeah, most
like
definitely.
it's so important really because I think like a lot of times, even especially growing up for me, like just even really playing games, like my parents were always like, you can't play these games. and everything, because
Yeah.
they have an M rating and everything like that. That'd be very bad for you and your development and everything. And I was like, it was clearly never the case. It was always fucking
Yeah.
bullshit. Like, my parents would literally believe like other shit like that. But the one like game that they fucking like resented more than anything was like Grand Theft Auto. And they would hear some
Right.
shit about like Grand Theft Auto, and it just like, oh, like this shit happened and everything because of like they played Grand Theft Auto, thought it was okay, and then just like that's not it at all.
They blame
Like,
everything on those games.
the media
and they
does.
Have no,
Right.
The media does, and they really have no basis for it. Like,
Yeah.
people are just bad people. But honestly, I kind of wanted to add to that question though, because I feel like nowadays the average player is not as good. Well, I mean, is better than what the average player used to be back in Modern Warfare 2 days and Modern Warfare 3 days. And a lot of reasons why that is, because with the growing, like, with the growing mass of content creators when it comes to Twitch, YouTube channels, and everything that sorts that dedicate themselves to always showing the best weapons, the best routes, the
Right.
best things to use. There's so much of that, especially in Warzone,
Yeah.
that you have all these little kids that are watching these content creators that are trying to copy exactly what they do.
Right. Yeah, and I mean that goes for any sport, honestly.
It really does.
So, which is funny because we're only seeing the development of it, right? Like when Call of Duty first started, you had people just buying it because they saw a trailer on TV. They're like, "Yo, that game looks really fun."
Dude, I remember
Then-
the Modern Warfare 2 Eminem trailer. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I was
So-
sold immediately.
That's what I'm saying. But like now you have all these other outlets, and like you said, the content creation. Like now people know what competitive. Back then, people didn't know people were making
Well,
$100,000 was champs. Like nobody
Yeah.
knew people were doing that
well,
until they were made into like the Coke bottles with the advertisement.
yeah. Well, even
Like
when I was a kid and everything like that too, like especially for any of the card game stuff and everything that I would look up, mostly Yu-Gi-Oh and everything when I was growing up, like the first thing I would do is I would check out YouTube, like for other shit that I wanted to build, so on and so forth. And like that's how I would go off, like trying to find information. And now these days, like especially in this day and age, like I feel like everyone's gotten better and like just because of like there's such an access to information and everything, and being able to sift through all that and like figure out all this shit and everything just raises everyone's skill level, even if it's just like
yeah, of
a
course.
little
'Cause, I
bit
mean,
compared to back then.
Right, because now you just go into a game and you're already focusing like, oh, I gotta get better. Like you're
Yeah.
already on a. You have to know that you're gonna be competing in that lobby, and then on top of the fact that with the skill-based matchmaking, also what that brings to it, like
Yeah.
any game you play, if you progressively do better, they're gonna get you into better lobbies.
Yeah,
It's like you never really have time to settle. Like you always want to make sure you're doing better than the other person, or want to do better than yourself.
figuring out like new shit and everything. Yeah, no, I totally agree, because that's especially like in what I do and everything with like card games and everything like that. You're always trying to see if there's like new builds or if like something else is like more so dominating like the meta and everything that you didn't anticipate beforehand. Because like even like the shit that you talk about with like more OP weapons and everything like that, I hear like I feel that, but it's like, and what I do, it's like OP decks or like other shit of that nature. There's like they have some mechanics and everything that just make them more OP and everything than anything else, because there's nothing else that can really deal with it, so on and so forth. And
Sorry, you cut out for a second. Did you say OP dicks?
OP dicks, not this time.
Oh.
Um,
Getting a beer. I was just getting a beer banana.
sponsor it, promote it.
Yeah, sponsored by Banana.
Sponsored by Banana, Chiquita.
You know, this is actually 1 year of Rip Harambe. No, we didn't really pay our respects today.
Shame. Rip Harambe.
Honestly, we should get our dicks out. All right, dicks out.
He just wants to get demonetized before we're even monetized. He's just like, you know what? When they're reviewing us, like for the YouTube Partner Program, what's gonna be
This
the?
video?
They're gonna be like,
Video right now.
dicks out now. But
Can't have them on
Listen,
the
it's for Harambe. They would understand.
YouTube is very, yeah. YouTube's not as like weird as Twitch with shit, but like, they're definitely like they crack down a lot harder for sure.
They're
Yeah.
up there with
Once we live stream on Twitch, we can't say simp and virgin.
Yeah, can't do that.
I can't show
I
my
still
tits
say
out
that.
for Brennan.
You still say that?
Yeah, those are two words.
I was actually
that's not simp. I never used that word. That word is stupid to me. But like,
You,
I was
why do you think that word's stupid?
I don't know. They just people now just create words just to create it. Like
They really do.
I don't.
I was
never
actually
understood
laughing
it.
on
Like,
your
it's just
stream.
stupid.
I was laughing on your stream earlier because your partner or whatever that you were playing against, playing with, was saying like, "Oh, that kid called me a F
Yeah.
word." Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "Why are you doing that? I'm on stream. Why would you say that word?" Like,
Yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like, I used to use that word religiously, and then
dude.
Yeah.
as soon as
we're in the-
people started getting canceled for it, I'm like, damn, this is one word that's gonna be hard because
Yeah, dude,
I just use it so much all the time.
Oh, we could talk about words, can't we, Matthew?
We could always talk about words, but like literally, like even watching his fucking stream, like legit, like people are literally dropping that, like it's like on his, like I was just watching the stream and like every lobby that is in, and it's probably because even like he didn't have TTV, and like, do you have TTV and you're like
Plan tag? No, I don't.
Okay, so that's why.
you,
I bet your ass if like either of you had TTV, that shit would change. Like,
I think it gets worse.
you think it gets worse?
100% worse.
Yeah.
Really?
They don't care.
I
They know.
Sorry, beer. I respect you for not having TTV in your name, but I was in a lobby when I was streaming, and then somebody else had TTV in their name, and then like on the other team, they're like, "Oh, hey, are you streaming? Are you streaming? Oh, wait," and then they just like Edward. They just like
Yeah, and it's so fucking stupid. Like that's the thing. Like they're just like, oh, okay, you know what would be funny because you're streaming, and like literally they know that, like, even because I think that happened with Disguised Toast, like because he was on Facebook Gaming and someone else fucking said it, and then he got canceled, he got banned.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, and everyone like now makes a fucking joke out of it. It's like this is serious shit, and it's like,
Yeah, I mean, I think now the bans are a little bit easier on that. Like, if it's not you that said it, I don't.
Yeah.
Think it's
Well,
fine,
that-
but it's still like.
that's what I thought. But even Disguised Toast was like not even like a month ago.
Oh, so that's recently. Then.
It was really recent. It was really fucking recent.
I know Twitch stopped doing that because it happened to somebody. I forgot who it was, but he got banned. It was like early on this year, and then they got unbanned, and then they fixed that where it's like if it's not you that said it, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Actually, I really want to transition this because like even though like you said even like for the past like 7 months you've been doing this more full time.
Right.
Talk about your daily life, actually. What is your, like, I mean, other than, like, just more routines and other shit like that, what do you do more in, like, your daily kind of, like, day-to-day when you're actually doing this shit? Like, what do you do?
I mean, I can give you a rundown of my day. I have one thing I can't talk about because I don't talk about it publicly, but I might start.
You jerk off in the morning.
But I'm gonna announce it soon though, because it's funny. Because
Okay, oh.
There's yeah, I'm gonna
It's
release a
OnlyFans.
video on OnlyFans soon.
Yes.
Yeah, so I pretty much like my day-to-day life. I wake up at 5 in the morning every day.
Okay.
And then my side projects that I work on, I do that from 5 in the morning till 10 in the morning.
Okay.
After that, I just shower, make food, do whatever I have to do, and then I turn on my stream. At 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, I'm streaming, all up until, probably like 9, 10 p.m.
Okay.
During that time, the first thing I do is stream Warzone, and then I hop on Cold War before scrims. I scrim from 4:30 up until 10 p.m. and then that's when I turn off the stream as soon as we.
Is it kind of like more like official scrims, like with whatever team that you're playing with for tournaments, or just like you know? Okay.
Yeah, it would be like a set team that I'm playing tournament with, like challengers, for example, any local events that are coming or majors.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I do in my day-to-day life. It's
you're
it's the same schedule.
It's just pretty much like that and everything. Do you actually like? I mean, do you do like do you like work out at all? Like, do you do any of that kind of shit? Okay.
Yeah. So before I shower or anything, I meditate. I meditate for 25 minutes, and then
Oh,
I
wow.
work out right after, and then
Okay.
I make food, shower, do whatever I have to do, and then I turn the stream on.
Yeah. Do you think like all that shit, especially like, is really like? Do you think that like, not even just like an edge, but do you think that helps like you like really just be able to do this shit on a day-to-day basis and you're not actually like kind of suffering from it? Because I know like even what I've noticed is especially when other people go really full-time with shit, they don't always take care of themselves, and like it's a very difficult thing to actually, because like they're living the dream like essentially by being able to do this full-time, but sometimes I'll notice like they kind of just like they don't take care of themselves, and it's obvious that they're just doing this and they're not doing anything else. Like they don't obviously meditate or exercise as much, but they're just like they just kind of end up like they always come across like they're feeling like shit, whether it's like like physically or just even like in the way that they're communicating with their audience about like their
Right.
games or so on and so forth. Like, do you think that really like helps keep you like there and like gets you through like your streams
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like everything else?
Most definitely. And it's just like, I could there's a whole subject we could get into, but it's like even the things that I eat, like um main reason, like I'll get into it just a little bit. Like 2 years ago I stopped eating meat just because I had like really bad stomach problems.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that transition to the reason why whenever people ask me now like the reason why I don't eat meat, it just turns into me saying like, oh, my energy levels. Like I've noticed that by not eating foods that you use a lot of energy to degrade and be able to use that for your body,
All
I
right.
use it completely different. Like I literally only sleep for 4 hours. I go to sleep sometimes at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'm always awake at 5 in the morning. I don't need an alarm to wake me up. I'm up 4:45, 4:50. As soon as I wake up, I get out of bed.
Every
Straight
day?
every day,
Every
every day. Even on
Are you like
Thursdays.
literally one of
That's
those people that just like 4 hours and you're fucking
Yeah, and I'm
good?
fine.
Are you
Right, and it was because of high school. Like remember in high school, I was literally doing this. Like I would wake up at 5 in the morning for school because I had to. Like it wasn't like I wanted to. I just had to because I had to be ready by 7. But I also had a younger sister that had to
Yeah,
get ready.
for
So in order
sure.
for me to be able to shower and get ready, I had to be the first one awake. So it was like I kind of had no choice. So I after high school, I just was used to it. But also
And you
like
kept it.
the
Yeah.
lifestyle, right? And then also like the side projects I work on, I have to be up anyway at that time.
Hmm.
So it's like it doesn't affect me because I could work on 4 hours. But even when it comes to tournament days, like on that Saturday that we won that AFD event, we were up for 26 hours playing that tournament. We were there from 7 in the morning up until 6 in the morning the next day.
And just
Like
like
that's
fully at the land center and
right.
everything.
Yeah, at the
Wow,
LAN center.
fuck.
And then you were seeing it like, there's a lot of things that went into it even in my interview that I had over there.
Hmm.
Um the lady that interviewed me, she asked me like, how do you guys keep your energy? And I literally told her, I'm like, I told my teammates, don't yell, just play your game because we're gonna be here till 4 in the morning. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
then
that's fucking something.
yeah, and then you see me. I think it was like before our finals match. I was outside meditating for like 20 minutes. It was like 3 in the morning. I was outside just sitting on the floor. I look like a psychopath. But yeah,
Fuck.
it's a lot.
Yeah, like when
I'm
you.
saying like I.
No, keep
What?
going. Keep going.
No, it's pretty much just to answer the question. What you said, yeah, I was like everything I do is there's a reason why I do it now. Like there's never. I'm like one of those people that if I do something, it's because I know there's always a reason behind whatever I do.
Yeah,
That's
there's like an intention behind it,
right.
and
Yeah.
you're always thinking about that shit, and I think that's super important, especially because like even like hearing that, I think you're a very good representation of what the gaming community can be, not just in COD, but in everything else. Like because,
General. Right.
yeah, because like you're actually saying it's like this is what I'm thinking about, like this is what I actually do to really get these results, and I've put in the work, I've done all this shit, and like even in general, like I mean, like especially over the past couple months, like you've had adversity thrown in your face several times of just like actually having to keep proving yourself over and over and over again.
And what people don't realize, it's not only adversity from people over the internet, it's like even family members.
Yeah.
I think that's like the one thing that really builds you up, and I feel like that's what makes it easier for me now. Is like I don't care what if I don't care what my parents say. I don't. Why would I care what some stranger on the internet says? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
been happening for so long to the point where it doesn't
Yeah.
even faze me anymore. Like it is what it is. You're gonna have people that don't like you just because they don't like you.
Or
And
they're
you have
just
to
gonna they're just literally gonna shit talk you, and they're not even gonna have like an actual anything to back it up, or even in general like they're just like they can't do the shit themselves, so they're gonna tear you down and everything like
Right.
that just to make themselves seem better. But all that shit comes to light. No, and I connect with you on that. That's like one of the things over the past couple months, especially when I've been on my Runeterra grind, I've thought of you, like especially like like because I felt like I've had to prove myself too, especially like with actually getting to like my hitting masters, getting into the seasonal tournaments, and doing all that shit and everything. And it hasn't always been like easy and everything, but like you and I haven't had as like I think these days like now my parents aren't always like that, but I mean there's still like a little bit, like they're like
Right.
they're worried, like they always like worry about like parent shit, like they
Right.
want
Exactly.
like they hear you want to get into gaming, and it's just like, are you gonna make money? You gonna be
Yeah. That was
profitable?
the first question. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's like always that kind of shit, and you just kind of have to keep your head down. And there's also other people that will talk shit, and it always shocks you. Like there's some people that will actually shock you, like talk shit, because like they're not just a stranger, but they're someone that like they should have known better, and then they say that shit anyway, and it's just like, damn, that sucks, but you're wrong.
I keep going. Yeah.
Gotta keep going and like doing all that shit. And like that's the thing too, like especially with everything else, like I feel like especially because of like more of the routines that you have in place, the fact that you it is actually really I think you're part of that rare kind of you have that rare genetics and everything of being able to sleep like 4 hours and everything like that, feel completely well rested, because that's only really belong to like, I think that is more a genetics thing, I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe that's a genetics thing. But
I don't know if it is or not, but I can say I'm the only one in my family that does that.
yeah,
My close, immediate family, yeah, because everybody that I used to live with, like my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, they just sleep all day if they can.
yeah,
I can't. I don't know how they do it. I have to be up before the sun is up, and if I'm sleeping past 8 in the morning, I feel like shit all day.
wow,
Yeah.
damn, that is some shit. Yeah, no, because like I'm like I will sleep for fucking ever. I really will. Like, and I think that's just more who I am and everything. I definitely don't. I can kind of go off 4 hours or a couple hours and be okay, but like still, like I'd rather not. It just depends on more like what's going on. But you know, like it's super fucking cool that like even in general, like you're talking about is like I meditate, I exercise, and you're like, and this is like you're able to have these kind of like foundation to really like deal with this shit, and I think that's super important.
Yeah.
What do you usually do to work out? Do you actually like, is it more strength training or are you more cardio?
I don't do. I hate cardio.
You hate cardio?
I hate cardio. Like as soon as I didn't have to do cardio no more when I stopped playing sports, and during high school I was so happy. I'm like I finally don't have to do this. I don't know why, it was like the one thing I hated doing.
Yeah.
But no, I just do body weight. So like I do pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, anything that has to do with like my body weight. I don't use any weights or anything like that.
Yeah.
I used to when I play sports, but now there was just no point because all I do is play video games pretty much.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
that's pretty much all I do though.
So just body weight and everything, and like that's, I mean, that's really all you need too. You just got to be able to like actually just make the time to do that shit, and it doesn't. A lot of those don't take very long though. So.
Yeah, no, I literally do my workouts 30 minutes a day.
Mhm.
So I keep it simple. I don't do anything crazy.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Tell me about this. I think it's interesting because like Enemy 4 and everything, you work closely with them. We
Right.
talk about OG Xerox a lot. We talk about Brandon. We
Right.
love him. We all love him very
don't.
much. You don't. I don't. Fucking hate the guy.
Yeah. I'll
Um,
talk to him again.
don't talk to him again.
Nope, no wanna.
You don't wanna?
He's hearing this right now. I know he's gonna be crying.
He's gonna be crying. Why don't you want to talk to him again?
If he was watching for this long.
Yeah, if he's watching for this long, he's fake. See, that's why I don't want to talk to him because I know he's not gonna be here. So that's the reason.
You think he's not gonna be here?
Nah, he's not even gonna. He's gonna watch the first 5 minutes. He's like, I'm done. He's fake.
He's the one
We-
taking our average viewer times.
Yeah.
So
fake
the
fan.
thing is that we always make fun of him toward the end of our podcast, and we're just gonna be like, let's see if he watches it, and then like he'll text Matthew at some point. He's like, oh hey, great stream guys, that was good. Like,
Right.
you know, loved all of it, and then like, you know, we're just looking at each other. He clearly did not watch all of it.
We use a code word. If he doesn't text us back saying like blueberries, we know he didn't watch it.
All right, that's
the
the
code word.
test, Brandon. That's the code word. If you don't text me or Matthew blueberries, well, you didn't watch it for this long.
Yeah, like what? Here's my question to you. Why do you think?
Right.
Why do you think that? Like, why do you think he's fake? Big question.
I
You
don't. No, he's super
I know.
genuine.
I know. He really like. I hated that he actually rescheduled his podcast, like, cause he was supposed to come on before you, and I get it because I'm very perfectionistic with a lot of shit, like a mindset and everything. I think he is too, to a big extent. I think that's why I connects with him.
Right.
But, you know, like he is like, I want to come on after the July AFD event, and it was like, fucking why?
Yeah.
Come on now, we're all friends.
Now he hasn't like accolades to just pretty much talk about.
I don't.
The
The thing
brand
about it
booster,
is like,
brand
you know,
booster.
it is a friend booster. It's like this is pretty easy for what we're doing. I mean, I'm just sitting here
Drinking a beer.
drinking a beer, just
Heading your day.
Hanging out, like we didn't want
Yeah.
we didn't want him
Sorry,
on
I had to
for.
get a banana and a beer, and if you didn't notice, I had to eat the banana off camera so it didn't look really sus.
So he doesn't get demonetized.
I didn't want to look too sus.
Yeah, but legit, like you know, like when we have people on the podcast, it's not like always. It's just like we want to like share the accolades. We need them to have these accolades to come on. We want people on because like they're cool,
Right.
and we
Just
can
have
fucking
a
talk to
regular
them.
Conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
just like it's your conversation, and like that's the thing that I worry about, like because I totally understand where he's coming from too in that sense, because you feel like you have to have everything like lined up and everything, and it's like.
Right.
He definitely, I don't think, like, comes from that very toxic side of gaming as much as, like, other people do, but there's also, like, the other extreme where it can be, like, I have to put everything out perfectly.
Well,
And then you don't do shit.
Is like, here's the thing. I agree with him on that because I'm the same way. And
Yeah.
if he's still watching, he's gonna kick my ass for saying this.
Okay.
But he's been
Kick
trying to
his
get me to
ass.
see like
Kick
videos
his ass.
for E4 for so long. He's been trying to make like documentaries about me, and I'm like, I don't want to do that because I haven't done anything.
So, okay, so he has actually...
like-
Here's the thing. He brought that up to me, and I was like, is Jumper actually signed to the org?
Yeah, I am.
You are officially signed to the org.
Yeah, I've been signed for I think like a year and a half now, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Like actual because he made it seem like you weren't signed. Like I was like, is he signed?
What does that entail though?
Yeah.
Being signed with Enemy 4.
I mean, at first, I pretty much just told him I just want to do content and then just grow the content.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much all I do right now. As
Okay.
far as like anything else, I know he's been wanting me to do more, but I just can't do more than what I already do because I just don't have the time for it.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to say I'm not gonna tell him like, oh, I'm gonna do it and then not do it. I'm not that type of person. Like if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And
Yeah.
if I tell you like I know I don't have time to do it, then I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like what I was gonna say about Brandon is like something I could agree with him is like his reason for not being on the podcast before the event. It's the same way. The same reason why I haven't done a documentary yet. It's like he's been pressuring me like, yo, let's do the documentary. Come over. Let me go to your house so I can shoot you playing the tournament. It's like you're gonna come over so you could watch me get shit on and place top 64. Like that's not what I want. Like I get it. It's part of the process, but I don't want.
Cameras
I
on
don't want
me.
to have. No. I don't care about the cameras because
Okay.
at the end of the day, like I'm streaming. It's live. Like either way, people still see it.
Okay.
But like having a documentary, it wouldn't be a fun documentary if he releases something of a player that hasn't done anything.
I think so soon. Yeah, I think so soon it is. But I think actually I will disagree to the extent like being on the podcast and a documentary is different because I mean it's a different format
No,
shooting.
100%.
Yeah. And
100%.
like Brandon like has done a lot of great shit for even one. Like the fact of the matter is like I don't know. I mean you know this. Like Christian knows this because I've bitched to him about this. But for an organization, an actual up and coming organization to actually put out like bring out a team, especially in like the college Call of Duty scene, like he did, to go X-1 in your first season, and that from what I remember hearing, it was like it came together very last minute.
Yeah,
right?
it did, literally last minute.
To go-
literally a couple hours before roster lock.
Yeah, so to go X-1 in that season, to make it into the playoffs in your first season, most amateur up-and-coming orgs can't even put together a solid team to do anything.
Right.
For even like a fucking practice.
Mhm.
They don't even get to that. So the fact that he was able to do that is great. And like other content stuff, like he's familiar. Like he's within like the game. Like he's been doing this shit for so long. Like he is more familiar. We want him on for like the personality and the chill to hang out. Like he is also like a personality. We're not just having him on simply because of like the accolades. Like
Right.
if we want you on, it's not just for that. We want you on to actually be, you know, yourself.
Tell us about your simpy endeavors.
Actually, you know what? I will notice you make a lot of the 11/11 tweets. Like, is that why you don't like the word simp? Is that it?
That's exactly why. That's exactly why. Sometimes you gotta
I'm actually not as informed as Matthew here. What is the 1111 tweets?
for like a week now. I've been just posting some 11:11 tweets, very risky 11:11 tweets, just saying like I need her. 11:11, wishing I was with her. Some bullshit.
No, don't do that.
We got to, man. We have to.
No.
So-
The next tweets are gonna be about the stones, those little rocks they carry around. I gotta make sure we gotta bag the right one, you know.
Yeah.
Is there a right?
Is that actually is that like, are you actually trying to reach out to someone, or are you just doing it for the fucking meme?
No, just a meme. I literally woke up one day. It was like, I'm just gonna tweet out an 11:11 tweet, see how much interactions I could get, and it went
That's
pretty
funny
well.
as-
So I said, I'm gonna keep doing it until everybody tells me to shut up. That's exactly what happened.
No, because I'll see like Brandon always posts like some simp gif.
Yeah.
Consistently do it. So that's
Pretty much how it goes. Yeah, no, and that's one thing too. Like people would take me serious on Twitter, but it's like I don't take me serious. I don't use Twitter or any social media to talk about anything public or anything that's like personal.
I feel like you
I
have
don't
like
think
to
that's what social media does.
I feel like you have to some extent, depending on what it is. Like if someone's actually giving you shit, I feel like you've been serious about that. But like
I mean,
anything,
yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on the scenario. But like
Yeah.
personal, like something personal, nah. But there'll be times where obviously I want to tweet something. Like if I go into my drafts, you'll see so many deleted, like the deleted tweets that I've wanted to tweet out that I just haven't. It's
Mhm.
like whenever I see my name on Twitter, like I've wanted to reach out, be like, why? But obviously I don't state it that way. I state it in a very more
yeah,
aggressive way. But I just delete it because it's just I'm like, nah, it's not that big of a deal.
yeah.
But there's a lot of things. But I don't
That's
know. Like,
understandable.
Sometimes I open Twitter and I see people like pouring their heart out on the TL, and I'm like,
Stop.
to me, that's just cringe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It is pretty.
I don't like opening Twitter and seeing people just spam tweet about their life. Like I'm just like, I don't feel like that's what social media was built for. But I know people. That's an outlet for people.
Yeah.
That's how people let out the frustration. So it is what it is. But to me, I just read it and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if you should have tweeted that out. I think you should have just.
Yeah.
kept it that way.
It's kind of like
A double-edged sword.
if you're retweeting like the OnlyFans girl shit and everything, it's like my beautiful girlfriend, all this shit and everything. You're promoting her OnlyFans, and it's just like you're just a fucking customer.
You're
Yeah,
just.
I mean, that's
you're
at a
literally
certain
just a
extent.
free marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a certain extent though. At the end of the day, like you know, if I was doing OnlyFans, I would obviously want people to do that to my page. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Everybody just sees it kind of differently. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Jumper is opening up his first OnlyFans.
Thinking about it, I kind of want to.
No, he's just you're literally just gonna put on like clickbait shit for hacking. Get everyone that says you're hacking and everything.
Oh,
It's gonna
yeah,
be
you
like.
want to see my real hack? Subscribe. 10 I'll show you what you need. Because for me to be hacking and monitor camming, I got the cheat codes. Trust me. I'm the only one who's done that. 3 months monitor camming, people still think I cheat.
Watch that
They
get
haven't figured
clipped.
out how yet? They haven't
Wa-
figured it out yet, but
Watch that get clipped out.
oh, it definitely will.
Barstool like has on Cheeto and everything. There's just like, and then Cheeto brings you up, and it's just like fucking Jumper was doing this. They clip out this little thing. Don't listen to the
I
Like-
hope
No,
Cheeto gets
people
punched in
people
the
were
face.
telling me
like Barstool. If you watch this, Blueberry, text us Blueberry.
Right, that's what Blueberry. Yeah, no, there was people telling me like even with the monitor cam that was like pre-recorded. So then I had people come in my chat like, oh, I was they were saying like wave in front of your monitor cam to see it was pre-recorded, and I'm like, what? So then anytime I'd do something crazy, like I'd trace somebody through it, I have a clip. I literally trace somebody, and then I would put my face in front of the monitor cam and be like, see, I'm cheating. It's like it's not to show that it's not pre-recorded, but everybody always has, you know,
It's pre-recorded
yeah.
and everything, or just like you show the background of your room and everything. It's like, wait a minute. First off, that like picture and everything isn't normally there and everything. So clearly it's a different environment and everything. You're clearly that's a green screen. You are hacking.
See,
Like-
I mean, like, I'm a mod. I get mad and I accuse people of cheating sometimes. So, like, a lot of things can be pretty suspect, you know, for a lot of things.
Right.
And Matthew sees me all the time doing it, but
Mhm.
I'll still report them for cheating. And then there's been 3 or 4 times I played COD this week, and then like I get the notification like, oh, a player you got reported was just banned, you know, or some shit. I'm
Right.
like, oh, and I show that to him because I'm like, listen. I'm right
Christian
sometimes.
Christian lays
Not all
down the
time,
law.
sometimes.
Christian laying down the law. It's like, if I catch you, you are getting reported. So I feel like at this point, like, if you're actually cheating, like, at this point and everything, Christian will report you, and then that's when it's gonna happen. But only sometimes.
Listen, if I'm getting dicked over, I'll look over and I'll just be like, it's a little suspect of like where they're looking at certain times, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't even be because people think cheating is so blatant, but it's very subtle. And Marksman says it best. I feel like, you know, if you're cheating, you're bad. You wouldn't cheat if you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at the lands, you would just be bad.
Yeah,
And
like
that was one thing too. I'm like, sorry to cut you guys off. But
No,
like,
you're all
at that
good.
event, like the one clip that emerged was like that triple kill that I got on that team for winners finals. Is like, I do that online, and I'm gonna go to LAN. And I'm gonna do it on LAN. It's like, and then even while doing that, like people still, you know, have so much shit to talk, and it's like it's at a point
Mhm.
where, for me personally, it's like I don't care anymore. Like I'm not gonna monitor cam anymore. I'm not doing it. There's just no
yeah,
point.
you
Like, I'm
don't
not,
need to because at that point it's
Yeah.
just like
It's just
you
tedious.
can just say to people, if I'm
Go
doing
look at
this
my
at
pin
LAN
tweet.
events,
That's what I
there's
tell
no way
people now.
there's no way that you're
Look at my
cheating at a
pin
LAN
tweet.
event.
Yeah, post the actual
Why-
clips. Evidence.
Yeah, and just be like, listen, if you have something of value you think is me cheating, post it, please.
Yeah.
At me at it.
No, and that's
But-
what I did to the last person. Like the last person that told me out loud before I was monitor camming. I
Yeah.
told him, he DM'd me. He's like, I'm not gonna name drop him, but like word for word. And this like kind of hurt me because I know the guy and we were super cool.
Fuck.
And he was somebody that was like, he literally told me like, I can't believe you're cheating against me. You know, I used to look up to you, like even when I first came into competitive in BO4, like you were a super good player. You're just a scumbag now. He's like,
Yo.
he's like, I want you to come forth right now and tell me if you're cheating or not. And if you don't tell me, I'm gonna post the clips on Twitter. I literally told him post it, just like that, and I blocked him. And then
Yeah,
he posted the thread, and then I obviously that was like, I'm like, alright, cool. So I have to go onto Twitter, and I have to quote retweet everything he posted and goes through it. And it was stupid clips. Like people were like, it's not even sus. Like
Damn.
it doesn't make sense. It's just people accusing because they're butthurt. But it was like something like that is just it's so dumb. But
I
yeah,
think they're
like,
just
I don't know.
I just think there needs to be more accountability for all of these players that are just taking the time to come after you like this, to just tweet at you, to like, you know,
Yeah.
even if they're on a team and everything, to be like, yeah, this guy is cheating when you are clearly not. Because like I've said, like, you know, you've done very well in LAN tournaments where places where there's no way you can cheat and you're playing the
Right.
exact same way you would when you're playing right here. And it's like there is no need for you to cheat. Why
Right.
would you ever risk that? Why would
Yeah.
someone that has built up such a good following, you know, won tournaments and everything, like why would you just throw your career down the
Right.
drain
And
just to
that,
fucking
that
cheat?
was
Yeah.
that was literally something I tweeted out too. I'm like, why would I quit my job, move out 3 hours away from home, be into my own apartment to compete, cheat, and then get canceled, and all of a sudden I have to go back home? Like, why would I
Yeah,
do that? It doesn't
or-
even doesn't make sense. Like people really don't think about stuff.
But everyone needs accountability. Not even just like the people that are going at you, but at these events or anything else, because like shit is fake, like when people do that shit like that. Because I mean, even if that was someone you knew that was like doing that shit to you, that's super fucked. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Here's the thing: is when people get upset, it's really easy to do stuff out of anger.
Yeah.
It's like it's what it is. Like at the end of the day, I understand we're all competing. Like, not gonna name drop, but the one guy that pretty not started it but got it worse. It's like we beat him in a tournament, and then, oh, we're cheating, and then all of a sudden he says, oh, I can't believe you're cheating. Like this is my livelihood. Like you're messing with my career. And I'm like, okay, you're only upset because we beat you, which is understandable. Like anybody that's at a high competition, if you don't place well, you're gonna be upset.
Well, the thing
You
is
need it. But
that
it's like,
if I don't do well at an event, I'm not saying that shit. Like sometimes shit will happen. Sometimes you are not gonna show up. Like you are gonna have your days where you're just gonna be shit, and it will happen. It doesn't always like
Right,
happen,
right.
but it will. It can happen. It's not saying that it can't. And like,
but that's where I was coming from earlier, saying like,
or skill gap.
right, and it's
Yeah.
like these players will make up 1,000 excuses about why they lost, but none of them are gonna be about, oh, maybe I just played like shit that day.
Yeah.
Not only did we beat them, but we So when it comes to like cups and tournament days, to say this really quickly, it's when you play for points, like the first round, you do vetoes, which is we pretty much pick and choose what maps we want to play. And instead of doing like the best of 3 and playing the map set that the website gives us, we choose completely different maps. We play best
Right.
of 5 instead of best of 3.
Okay.
Pretty much we beat him in the first series 3-0, best of 5, like to win. And then he went to live support and said, "Oh, they hosted wrong maps." So he was trying to forfeit us pretty much after we beat him. And then the admin was like, "Oh no, just replay the entire series and use the maps that are on the website and play best of 3." And we ended up beating him in the best of 3 2-0. So it's like I love the fact that we beat him once 3-0.
You beat him again.
2-0, and it was like it wasn't even close. So it's like I understand.
The fuck, yeah.
I'm competing and practicing every day, and then a team comes up to me and I lose, and without winning a map, I'll be fucking upset.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it just there's a type of level of respect, I guess. I just don't understand. Like I don't know. Like I wouldn't do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just different, I guess. I just
You're
the way
being-
people
You're
think.
being a more respectable player at that point.
Yeah.
It's just it is what it is. But like on this, like I said, I understand why he's upset. I just don't understand why he took it to a level to say all of that other stuff when
He's taking
clearly,
into
like, even to say this, last year I did more than him last year than he did. Like, well, what? No, I did more than him last year. And
Yeah.
this year the same thing. And then he went out of his way to say all this other stuff that was extra for no reason when I did better than him last year on console.
No.
So it's like at the end of the day, people just get upset.
Yeah, they really do, and like, you know, and I say this because like even from like more like card game shit, like people don't act like this
Mhm.
ever. Like there's not really like it's really rare, and I say really rare that like I see anyone that actually acts negatively, and usually again they're a poser. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They can't humble themselves to admit they need a little bit of work. And like, you know, like the funny thing is, and this is probably the same thing there, if they probably just changed a little bit of their shit, they could be a whole lot better.
100%.
But they don't do that, and it's such a simple fix. And that's what I don't get. Like, and that's what frustrates me if I'm watching other people do this kind of shit. That's what frustrates me. It's simple fixes.
I think it's just pride.
It is pride. It's a fucking hubris, is what it is.
Because here's the thing about me too, and I'm not trying to brag or anything by saying this at all.
You should
I'm just
brag.
trying to-
I think you should brag.
I don't feel like because again, I haven't done anything. Like people would tell me, like when I say that to people now, people are like, "Oh, you just won an event." Like, yeah, that's one event. Like that one event hasn't changed anything drastic in my life.
It is
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the
it's
end
not
game.
right? Like it's not COD champs. Now, when I win COD champs, that's gonna be different. Then I'm bragging. Then
He
I'm
said it
gonna be
here
like,
first.
"Alright." Definitely. Like it's to a point where it's a different type of win.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, I know my gameplay needed a little bit of work. I'm not, I don't know everything about the game. I only know the basics.
Mm-hmm.
In order to be the best player, like even in any sport, you have coaches. Why
Yeah.
is it that these amateurs are so against having a coach? So I took the time to get a personal coach.
Yeah.
Now I have a personal coach, which means any team that I'm on, that coach is with me. And if I'm alone, that coach is with me, no matter what. And he's watching over my gameplay. So every night after scrims, I'm watching VODs,
Yeah.
going over notes that my coach has for me and my team, if I have a team at that time.
Yeah.
So it's like I put in that extra work to make sure that I'm better than I was yesterday at the game today.
For sure.
So it's a different type of level. Like people don't realize how much
Goes
you
into
actually
it.
have to do to get better.
Yeah,
people
you
don't do that, and I don't
really
and I
do.
don't tweet that publicly. Like nobody, if you don't really see my team play, you don't know that I have a coach. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't tweet that publicly because I don't have a reason to. Like I don't feel like that's something.
But now, like even saying it here, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, hey!"
Yeah, no, now people are
Everyone
gonna be
feels
like, "Okay, cool,
such
man."
shame of like having a coach. You need that shit. Like some people really do. Unless you're very acquainted with everything that you're fucking doing, you
No,
need that
a
shit.
coach regardless.
It-
Like it doesn't matter.
Oh!
Regardless, you need a coach because even the pro players have coaches. You look at Optic, they have a coach. You look at FaZe, they have a coach. You see 100 Thieves, they have a coach. Any pro team in any esports, they have a coach. Why is it
Right
that
there.
amateurs don't have a coach?
Yeah.
Like, you think you're just the best amateur in the game? Like that's not how that works. Like it really doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You might have really good gun skill, but anybody could have gun skill.
Right.
It's not that difficult to shoot and aim at the same time, but it's difficult to shoot and aim at the same time when you're thinking about the next rotation where you have to set up, especially if you're a player that needs to tell your teammates where to be at. Look at the mini map, look at the time. There's so much that goes into actually competing that people don't realize.
Yeah.
And there may be something on the mini map that you didn't catch, but your coach caught it. And as soon as the coach tells you what you missed, I guarantee you're not missing that again.
Yeah.
And once you have that upper hand, you're fine. Like it's so much goes into it, just people don't realize it. And it's like
any sport.
yeah, it's like I said, I think it's just pride. Like people are just they're ashamed of being wrong.
Yeah. And they just don't want to grow.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I do want to touch on this and everything. Like, what are like any future projects? Like any other because I know you said you're working on projects, and then there's obviously stuff with Enemy 4, like they're trying to make a doc or even any of that stuff happening. Like, what kind of future projects do you want, even whether it's just Enemy 4 or other projects that you're actually working on or anything? Like, what's going on in that front?
So inside of gaming, I mean, honestly, future plans is just to be on a pro team, whether that's competing or content creation. When it comes to content creation, I would like to be on a team, obviously.
Are you hoping to lock it down with Enemy 4 at some point, like once everything more funding comes in?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan.
Yeah.
I really do want to keep it in Florida. I want to keep it everything.
Yeah.
Everything that I do, I want to keep it in Florida just to grow the community here, because I feel like we still have a lot of room to grow.
I think we have so much talent. Like, we really do.
100%. There's so many people I can name drop. Like the one person I met at this 2v2 like Warzone tournament that I went with Brandon. We ended up playing. We won that event. And we met this one kid there. His name was Shot Dead. Super talented Warzone player.
Yeah.
But nobody knows him. Super talented. He's won like multiple online tournaments, but like on those like other third-party websites. I don't know the names, like the ones that you see like that are advertised on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dog is just people.
Piper is filling in for Christian.
But yeah, just players like that are pretty much really good players, and they just don't they don't know how to get out there yet. And I feel like obviously in any state you go to, you'll find players like that. But especially Florida, I feel like if I grow my brand here and I stay here and I do what I need to do here, and then I help the people that need to be helped to shine that light on them, that's my ultimate goal, is to help others who don't really know what direction to go to.
That's exactly what I want to do, especially with like more card game wise and everything else. That's all I really want to do. Right. It's like I'm not like here to just say like, oh, I'm gonna be better than you because I'm like in Masters and I'm doing all that. I want to pull people the fuck up, like, and help them and like do all that shit. Like
the way I see it is this: at the end of the day, we're gonna need people to carry this generation.
We really are.
Like the game and everything. Like
the gaming culture.
For esports to grow, we need more people in it. Like we can't continue to have the same pro players. Like I'm tired of looking at a match and only seeing Scump. Like I'm tired of seeing that. But then when you have new faces in BO4, when you have Simp and Celium winning and they're playing with a brand new roster that they just turned 18, then you're like, damn, okay, cool. There's new players. There's a point where I'm not saying the older players aren't skillful. They're obviously skillful, but it gets boring to watch
the COD boomers.
Every year, and it's like, when is there going to be new players? And I feel like that's what esports needs right now. They need new players every year, every so often, not every year, but so often they need new players. It just builds the brand, builds esports. Like
it makes it
at the same competitors in any sport. It's like it gets boring after a while after watching it.
Yeah, and it's
when LeBron's on the court, he's gonna take over.
Like, when it's playoffs, yes. When it's playoffs, absolutely.
Right, and it's cool to watch. It's exciting, but like, there's a point where you're like, okay, we already know what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know. That's the way I see it, at least personally. That's how I see it.
It depends. It depends. Like right now, the person that I more so put in that, like you say LeBron, and I'm thinking like new generation. I'm like Luka.
Right. But I'm saying,
dude,
you have an option. But at least in those sports, in any traditional sports, we have the option to see new players.
Yeah, and like for success in esports to have any, like, for people to even see that, new people have to be able to come up and like to actually have that shit. Not just like anyone, but like actually like the right fucking people. And like we need the more positive side of gaming and gaming culture to actually be present, and not just these things that like make it onto fucking Barstool and everything because they're just shit talking and acting like a bunch of fucking idiots. Like we really need more of the other side as well, because
the one team I'll shout out is United for doing that. They're the first org, if I'm not mistaken, to sign an like quote unquote amateur team, which was Simp United before they were even 18, or Simp Celium, and I forgot who the other people on that team were, but it was like the cadets. I think that's what they were called. This was before they were even 18. I think they were even 16 at the time when they were on United. But it's like a big org like United saw the potential that these 5 people had, and they made pretty much an amateur team, and then they helped that amateur team build up to being pro. And I feel like every esport org should have that, regardless what game it is. I feel like every esport org should have that to help the scene grow, because there's just no way.
I agree.
It's so difficult to make it out of it, to the point where it's kind of demoralizing for some players to be like, is there even a point to compete? Like,
to even
really watching me?
Find an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah, it's fucking something. You know, like, especially I've been telling, like, Brandon, I've been telling, like, Christian, I've been telling everyone, like, I really want to do DreamHack Atlanta, because that's going to be the first DreamHack LAN event and everything.
Right.
That'd be a lot of fun to go to. Like, every one of us, like, go. That'd be fucking legendary. But, any other future projects you can tease and everything?
Not right now.
Not right now?
Okay. Kind of unlock everything else. I mean,
okay. But
tease us more.
Yeah.
But keep us. But you know, do you think you're going to be announcing any of that stuff soon? Whatever it is.
Definitely, that one project that I'm announcing is going to be sometimes next week. So probably like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Dope shit. Anything that you're hoping to work on, like specifically with Enemy 4, other than like obviously not the doc, but like any other projects that you want to work on with them specifically?
Hopefully get a team under them, honestly.
Finally.
Have a championship team under them, and that would just be amazing.
Okay, you've really twisted my arm. I'll join the team.
Yeah, well,
I really needed you. It's about time.
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
I don't know
Brandon
if you want surfing seamen on your team, but
he's just like, who's coming in here surfing seamen?
Seaman, he's top 8.
That'll be funny. I like that call out.
Just get seamen, get seamen.
I'll be yelling that all day. It's on purpose.
Seaman on me, seaman on me.
For no reason, I'll just be calling out your name. We're just gonna lose because I'm just gonna be calling fake out. Just to say your name.
Dude, honestly,
I've literally had people say like, I'm not gonna call you seaman, I'm just calling you surfing.
no, honestly, if they actually had ever announced the team and it's just like you're getting your announcement thing, I want Christian to just overshadow you and just like push you to the sides like, thank you, it's about time I get recognized for this. Wait, I thought you said you wanted the hacker to come on and be on the team. Just like do all that shit. Honestly, that'd be so fucking funny.
Listen, I'll take the flack off your name with the hackusations and just, get called all the gay names for having surfing seamen on the team. I'll take all the flack. I'll take all of it.
Like a champ.
I take a lot of things to the face. I got it.
Fucking poggers, dude.
I'll even take on Cheeto's fat ass.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Somebody clip that. Send it to me.
Yeah. Honestly, like, dude. Honestly, somebody needs to like. He wore that Bagel Bites shirt and he made things personal. If he gives bad like press and everything for Bagel Bites and everything, that shit's personal. Taco Bell, understandable. Scooby-Doo, I'm a little bit upset, but not as much. But when you bring fucking Bagel Bites to the table and everything, it's personal. Fucking personal.
I will get good at COD enough to be on Jumper's team and then verse Cheeto, and I'll be at the LAN event with a banana hammock and have Cheeto come up to my face and just get up in the banana hammock and make him like.
No, just like have a bag of Cheetos ready and just.
Yeah. No, it's gotta be the banana hammock. You really gotta just assert your dominance.
With the banana hammock? Is that your logoing that you're gonna do for your shit? Like, just a banana shit? I think that should be it.
I think Jumper doesn't know what a banana hammock is. That's why his reaction's not as.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You ever seen Bo Rat?
Borat? No.
Like the swimsuit he wears, like the more iconic one.
Mm-mm.
We'll show you off the podcast, but
No, we should show him on right now.
we should. But like honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm trash at like actually integrating clips and doing that, or like actual pictures, and also because I think we should, unfortunately, and everything. I think don't you have to go to work at like 5?
Yeah, I also have to drive somewhere. I
Yeah.
have to drive someone somewhere real quick before work.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
For your hacks.
Yeah, for my hacks.
Yeah.
Here, number. This is what a banana hammock is.
Oh.
Show you real quick.
Oh, okay. She just wear that at the venue. Yeah. You have everybody looking at you with that.
Yeah.
Dude,
Surf-
that's such a assertion of dominance right there.
Surf and Seaman branding, everyone. But dude, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This was really fucking amazing. Like, we would love to have you back on at some point. And yeah, is there anything else you want to mention before you sign off?
Nah, just thank you guys for having me. Honestly,
Dude.
it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, honestly,
Very nice to meet you finally. Actually, like from all the times we
Likewise.
talked.
Dude,
about, like,
it
all
really
the times
was.
We talked about you, and like we've been excited to meet you and like see all your progress. Like it's been an exciting adventure, and finally
Yeah.
meet you in person. And
We're big
through all
fans.
This has been an exciting process.
Yeah, for sure.
Piper can barely stand. She's so excited.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out Jumper's Twitch, his all of his social media links and everything. We'll have that down in the description. Make sure to check out more of our shit to come and everything. And we will see you back for the next episode sometime like this upcoming week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys. I know.
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
I'll be waiting for them. I know he's not sending that message. He's not watching.
See you guys.